G'day everyone. I wanted to really thank everyone who have supported me over the last couple of years particularly. As you can see over here that I've just clocked over to over 10,000 followers or subscribers, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about that with you all now, and I'm really proud that I've got there. It's taken a lot of work, but I'm so happy that I've actually achieved that mark. I've been so excited over the last few days as I've been getting closer and closer. I just wanted to talk to you about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch over to this other side because I wanted to sort of show you where it all began. Basically, if you're looking at it through here, let me just make this a little bit smaller. You can see that really it's all started around about 7 years ago, but that was only my first post that I actually posted, and it was just a model shoot that I did 7 years ago, and I really didn't post much after that. You can see there's a big jump here between 7 years ago and 4 years ago where I did another modeling shoot that I actually posted. So I wasn't even really looking at YouTube at this stage at all in a business sense. But as we actually move up, you can sort of see here that I then skipped to doing all my wedding work on there. So I was then sharing all of my wedding work that came up over the coming months. And I just basically shared their slideshows that I was doing. So it was more of a way of marketing for my weddings. And you can sort of see here that that went basically for a whole year where I was just basically sharing just my wedding images, and that did help the wedding business grow. So it was a great thing to do to sort of get that actually moving. And the first time that I actually started to show modeling shoots was when I did this modeling shoot here at 2 years ago. Was with a bunch of girls that I shot when I was doing Hosier Lane. And then again, I've sort of gone back to weddings. And again, this was another modelling shoot where I did with a group of senior girls. This was 2 years ago. You can see that I'm only getting minimal views at this stage. You know, I'm just getting, I got more wedding views, obviously because bride and grooms were sharing their images, but the images that I was just sharing with these modelling groups and stuff were only getting 300, sometimes 140 views. And again, this was all what I was doing early on. I was just continually just sort of showing how I was increasing revenue and in my business and sharing modeling shoots that I actually did. It really started to grow when I started to talk about my Nikon to Sony move, which was 2 years ago. That had 5,000 views, and I basically talked about my story and transition from Nikon to Sony. And this is where I actually started to change my thinking about how my channel was actually going to be done. With that discussion, I actually wanted to talk about my move from going from Nikon to Sony, because I did have all high-end Sony gear. I was using a D4S, I was using the D800, the D750, I think it was, and that's I can't remember what version it was anyway, but I had a number of cameras that I was actually shooting, and also all the high-end Nikon lenses like the 70-200 f2.8 version 2. I had the 24-70, I had the 14 to I think it was a 14mm wide angle. There was a stack of lenses that I had, and I also had the Sigma 85 1.4 as well. And I sold a whole lot and moved over to Sony in one go. So it was a really big move. So I wanted to discuss that with you all, and that's where I started to set up talking about my transition from Nikon to Sony. And you can see here that I was talking about my decisions I'd made with the Sony cameras, the A7 series cameras, and the FE lens choices that I'd made for wedding and portraits. And that's where my whole channel actually started to grow. And it's grown over a period of 2 years to where it has got to today. I've discussed sort of ND filters, what cages I've used, off-camera flash that I was using with my systems, the Sony flashes, which is using the Odin triggers and wireless triggers, and also using my Profoto B1. And basically then I've started going through gimbals and everything else and lens choices and things like that. So it's been a really great growing period for me, growing with you guys all together to basically where I've gone today. I'm not sure how many videos I've ended up with. It's a lot anyway that I've actually posted. So what I really wanted to say though is, and this is why it's really important for me, is I've done this without having any sponsorships. I've just basically talked about the gear that I've purchased myself, and I've really enjoyed doing it with you, and I've given a live chat particularly every week where I answer questions about Sony rumors and other gear that I've also bought, and also talking about or answering questions from you guys as well. And unlike a lot of other YouTubers out there, I have personally answered every question up to this point that's been put in. I've always made the time to answer it, because I do believe if you say to people, leave questions down below, I really think you should have the decency to answer those questions, and I always have. As the channel grows, that may change, and if it did change that I get too many subscribers to answer personally, I will not be asking for you to leave questions down below, because that's one of my pet hates, when people do that and they're just basically asking for likes and then they don't answer their supporters that are on there. Having said that, you guys that have followed me from the beginning, and even who have joined me lately, you are like family to me and you're like friends. I do have a beer with you guys all together on the live show that we discuss, and cheers, I'm going to have one now. I do love having you guys as like family, and it really is, like Oreo just said a minute ago, that this seems like it's family just talking here and friends. And that's the important thing for me, and that's how I do want to hopefully differ from what a lot of other YouTubers are offering out there. I do love that personal aspect. I do love the chats that we have. Yes, sometimes my chats can tend to be a little bit long, but it's important that we do have those discussions together again. And please, if you can, keep obviously supporting me, and I'll be supporting you back. If you're not getting notifications, please click on that little bell icon, because you will get a lot of videos that I'm coming up shortly. For instance, I'll be showing the new Tamron lens in 2 to 3 weeks time. I'll have a review of that for you with pictures and everything else, so stay tuned for that. And obviously I'm still sharing shoots that I'm shooting. I do a lot of shoots and show how those have been done, as well as also hardware reviews as well. So you're seeing both from me. You're seeing live shoots and also hardware reviews, and I want to sort of keep that, because I do have a real love of photography. But the main thing about this thing was I just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting me in this whole journey that I've gone on, and I'm really having a ball doing it, and I'm hoping to continue for many years to come. So thanks guys, just want to say thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you all again soon for the next video. Bye for now.